Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the fastest man in the world?
That's very simple. It's Usain Bolt. He is the fastest runner on the planet, setting the world record for the shortest 100 meters sprint time of 9.58 seconds.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on Our Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Friday edition of the show, Sport in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Today, Friday, the 25th day in the month of April, year 2025, the last edition of the show for this working week. And of course, you can say for this month of April, by the way, an amazing month it's been. And we give thanks to God for the gift of life. On the show this morning, I'll be 72 in bits and in pieces. Definitely tiptoeing all of the major stories that are currently making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world or sport. I call it your early morning sport tonic. Whether you're a sports person, someone who loves the of the game, or maybe you're an athlete yourself, this is the right place for you to be, because the early bird has gone around the world to catch the scores, and I am more than willing to serve them to you. This package comes to your airing Mondays through to Fridays from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10. I'll be back here later this evening on the Sports Up Show between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Where we do 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of reach, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews. To call it just football, because here to be analyzing all of the amazing matches that will be going down in the world of football this weekend. Later today, Flamingos will be in action in the first of the two legs against the Algerian, and if they do well, then we'll be into the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, all to play for over the two legs and counter a serious affair, you can say for sure. Mauricio Pochettino definitely having issues in the United States of America right now. Former players and also legends of the United States men's national team are saying that it does not know what it means to be on that particular seat away from that. Real Valladolid, the side that has been co-owned and also managed by Delima Ronaldo, R9 by the way, have been relegated after the 5-1 thumping by Real Betis last night. I'll tell you more about that particular one later this morning. History was also made last night as Julian Alvarez in just his first season has scored 15 goals. Well, maybe there will be no trophies to show for it right there in the Spanish La Liga, but of course, he's been able to make his mark in Atletico Madrid for this season. Definitely, the stocks are going up, and he might be leaving Atletico Madrid soon and very soon with the number of return he's giving up for that team at this time around. Brazilian national team are also not done just yet, because definitely they're in pursuit of Carlo Ancelotti, and they're making it known that, look here, we know this might be your last season with Real Madrid, but if you are going to be doing any other thing, then we'd like you to come and manage our national team. Well, the Samba definitely not been up there where they are known to be, and yes, in a couple of years they've had a couple of managers that have coached that particular team, but definitely they want to be up there. They want to be a force to be reckoned with once again. Still talking about Ancelotti, he's going to be having a lot of work to do come Monday when they'll be playing the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. Because guess what? It's been said that Eduardo Camavinga is now going to be out for the rest of the season. Maybe or maybe not the FIFA Club World Cup, but as it is right now, it is the end of the road for him this season. And not just Eduardo Camavinga, there's also David Alaba, who will also be missing the game on Monday. Well, all to play for between these two sides, and we look forward to see who is going to be winning the Spanish Copa del Rey in the coming days. Harry Kane and also Bayern Munich will be winning a trophy together. Harry Kane definitely leaving it late, but of course, he's made his mark in the German Bundesliga already this season. And Bayern Munich together this weekend, they'll be looking to lay their hands on that amazing trophy right there. Jamie Vardy, on the other hand, has called it a time with Leicester City. The club he joined at about 30. It was a late bloomer, but definitely it showed the stuff he was made of. Up there, scored more goals in the English Premier League than the likes of Luis Suarez, than the likes of Sergio Aguero, than the likes of just to name a few this morning. Even he had more goals than the likes of Nicolas Anelka right there in the English Premier League, considering the fact that he joined very late. It was signed for £1 million, if I'm not mistaken, from Fleetwood Town, but definitely is one of the Premier League legends. You can take that to the bank to confirm that right now. Spent 13 years, and indeed, that is to show you that it's never too late to do whatever it is that you set your mind to. In Italy, guys, Bologna are now through to the final of the Italian Coppa Italia, the first time they will be there since 1974. Don't forget that last season they had an amazing season, by the way, and they lost a couple of players, the likes of Zegzi, the likes of Anatovic, even their manager Thiago Motta also left. But then they are into the final of another major trophy. They will be playing against AC Milan in the final, which is going to be played about 2 weeks to this time. We look forward to that particular one as well. All of this and many more I'll be sharing with you in the course of the show this morning. Sports in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 1021 FM. Don't forget you can keep track of this updates and more by following us across all social media platforms. Right now we are live on our YouTube channel at Impact 1021 FM, and don't forget we'll be back here later this evening once again between 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. on the Sports Hub Show. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name, an absolute honor to be your host on this show. And to the search of the back of the net right now, we'll be getting the show on the road, and just as I'll always preach it to you, charity they say begins from home, so we'll be starting the talks from the home front, where we'll talk about athletics this morning, where Nigerian sprinter and 2012 Paris Olympics women's 200 meter finalist Favour Ofili has now been listed for the second leg of the new Grand Slam track meet after missing the opener in Kingston, Jamaica. Grand Slam track is the global home of professional track competition launched by four-time Olympic champion Michael Jordan. The second slam of its inaugural season, the Miami Slam, will take place between May 2nd to 4th at the Anson Sport Complex in Miramar, Florida. And the organizer are citing injuries and unexpected circumstances when Ofili was one of the 10 athletes who opted out of the first leg of the meet. And more athletic talks on the show this morning. Let's quickly talk about Paralympic champion Bolaji Eniola, who has now been named the 2024 African Badminton Award. The Paralympic bronze medalist Eniola Bolaji has been honored with the 2024 African Women in Badminton Award in recognition of her achievements and journey in para-badminton during the Badminton Confederation Africa Annual General Meeting that was held yesterday. The multiple-time African champion becomes the second Nigerian to receive this award, following in the footsteps of badminton veteran Obiageli Sholaja, who was recognized in 2019. And away from that, right now, still more stories coming through. Talking about athletics, still on their home front this morning. It's been said that the technical director of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Samuel Onikeku, has said one of the Nigerians' objectives at the upcoming world delays in China is to pick qualifying ticket for some of the relay events at this year's World Championship in Tokyo. The Athletic Federation of Nigeria on Wednesday unveiled Nigeria's contingent for the World Relays, which will be held from May 10 to 11 in China. And top of the list is women's 100-meter hurdles record holder Tobiloba Amuson and the Paris 2024 Olympics 200-meter finalist Favour Ofili. Amuson Ofili will be joined by Rosemary Chukwuma, Tiana Eyakubeyan, Success Umukuru, and Jennifer Chukuka Obi for the women's 4x100 meter relay. All length in glove, and we're looking forward to see the 2025 World Championship will be taking place from September 13 to 21 in Tokyo, and 7 Nigerian athletes have already secured their spot in 8 individual events at the prestigious competition as well. 72 in bits and in pieces this morning, and we're still taking talks coming through from the home front. Team Nigeria is making a statement at the African Senior Weightlifting Championship in Mauritius, leading the medal tally with 10 gold, 4 silver, and 1 bronze as the competition is nearing its conclusion. Bringing you details of that particular event going on right there with Rafiatu Lawal and Didi Onome, standing out performer, each winning 3 gold medals in their respective weight classes earlier yesterday before Ruth Ayodele added to the gold rush, winning 3 gold medals in the women's 64 kilogram category with a 213 kilogram total lift at 93 kg in the snatch and 120 kilogram in the clean and jack. The 2022 Commonwealth Games gold medalist Lawal was also dominant in the 59 kilogram category, effortlessly clinching the top spot. And away from athletics right now, straight into the world of football, where the Nigerian Football Federation has now launched a crackdown on referees who may be involved in match fixing as the country's football leagues reach its decisive stage. In an internal memo signed by the Secretary of the Nigerian Football Federation Referee Development Committee, Muhammadu Aminu, the Federation warned all referees in the Nigerian Premier Football League, Nigerian National League, Nigerian Women's Football League, and the Nationwide League One, which kicked off on Wednesday, to uphold fairness and protect the reputation of the game. The NFF also fears that clubs, agents, and other football stakeholders may attempt to influence referees in order to gain unfair advantage, and in response, the Federation has set up an independent monitoring committee to observe all matches and report any suspicious behavior. We hope that definitely this will bring about a lasting solution to how much the fans have been clamoring for a clean, fair game of football in the country. And away from that right now, we go straight into talks coming through from the Nigerian Football Federation as the Nigerian Under-17 girls, the Flamingos, are firm and ready to pick up tickets for the country's 8th appearance at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, despite the predictable cold atmosphere of the state. Mustafa Cheka in Blida, that is going to be outside of Algiers later tonight. Friday's encounter against the Algerian counterpart is the final leg of the final qualifying round of fixture, with the Flamingos, bronze medalists from the 2022 finals in India and quarterfinalists from the last edition in Dominican Republic, holding on to a 4-0 first leg advantage. The Federation of Nigerian Football has scheduled the match to kick off at 8 p.m., a time that the winds will begin to blow in stronger from the Mediterranean Sea. Well, you cannot take politics away from football, but then we are hoping that the ladies definitely will be able to come up the clutch in this particular one. Flamingos arrived in Algiers in the early hours of Wednesday, definitely, and then they will be looking to get inspired by the imminence of another FIFA World Cup ticket, as well as other financial windfall from the Nigerian Football Federation and also the billionaire business mogul Kunle Shoname. I'm still talking about football and also 8th grade football on the show this morning. Former Super Eagles player Taye Taiwo has scored on the current Flying Eagles squad to approach the 2025 Under-20 African Cup of Nations with confidence and fearlessness. The man was speaking on an interview with newsmen and also a one-time key player of the successful 2005 Under-20 team, sharing some words of advice for the current squad and also his thought on what it takes to succeed at such a prestigious tournament. And Coach Aliu Zubair and his boys are preparing for their own Under-20 campaign. Don't forget that the Under-20 campaign definitely kicked off right there in Egypt, and the Flying Eagles will also be in action later tomorrow for their first game of their own group game. They defeated Egypt in their pre-tournament match that was played on Tuesday, 2-1. That one ended, and then the first match in tournament will be coming up against Tunisia, which is going to be next week Thursday, before further games against Morocco and Kenya, all of which are going to be in Group B. Away from the home front right now, we'll go straight into Europe and taking thoughts coming through from all the sports on the show this morning. We start with thoughts coming through from the world of tennis. Yes, and some amazing matchups definitely right there. But one thing is for sure right now is that Carlos Alcaraz has now withdrawn from the Madrid Open because of injury. But then he's saying that he's hopeful of being fit for the French Open, where he's going to be defending his title. The Spanish world number 3 said he had injured his hamstring and groin during the second set of Sunday's Barcelona Open final. Alcaraz is a two-time champion in Madrid and won the Monte Carlo Masters in April. The 21-year-old, I beg your pardon, left the court for treatment during the Barcelona final against Olgarone and was able to resume the match, with the then going on to win 7-6. 6-2 in that particular final. Alcaraz is saying that he intends to travel to Rome for the Italian Open, which begins on 6th of May before the French Open that will be kicking off on 25th of May. Did I say kickoff? It's going to be 7 off. I beg your pardon. And away from that, still taking thoughts coming through from the world of tennis this morning. In the WTA, Igor Swiatek also avoided another shock defeat against Filipina teenager Alexandra Yela by fighting back to win their Madrid Open second round match. World number 2 Swiatek, who was stunned by Ella in Miami last month, won 4-6, 6-4, 6-2 on the Spanish clay. A sticky start appeared to justify some pre-match talk that Swiatek might have issues dealing with a teenage opponent. Swiatek lost in the Stuttgart quarterfinals last week, and having received a bye in the Madrid first round, she produced some eggy ground strokes in a poor first set. A total of 25 unforced errors indicated it was a performance nowhere near the befitting of the WTA Tour's dominant clay court player of recent seasons. And away from that, Swiatek is now gearing up for a tilt at the 5th French Open title next month, and they will be playing Czech number 34 seed Linda Noskova in the last 16. The Polish was joined in the 3rd round by Kokugawa, who overcame a disastrous 4-set to beat Ukraine's Diana Ramstreka 0-6, 6-2, 7-5. The world number 4 will face unseeded Ann Lee in an all-American affair in the next round. Russian Open champion Madison Keys also defeated Lucia Brunzetti 6-4, 6-3 to reach the last 32, where she'll be playing against Anna Kalinskaya. Stuttgart champion Jelena Ostapenko suffered a shock 7-6, 6-2 loss to fellow Latvian Anastasia Sevastova, who is making a second comeback in 3 years following maternity leave and also a serious injury. And away from tennis right now, let's talk about the world of basketball, where the playoff series are currently on the way. And Los Angeles Lakers surprised many when they made a big mid-season move to sign Luka Doncic from Dallas Mavericks, and the decision caused a stir in the NBA. But now it is clear why the Lakers took that particular risk. On Tuesday night, Doncic put in a brilliant performance to help the Lakers beat Minnesota Timberwolves 94-85, where he scored 31 points, grabbed 12 rebounds, and made 9 assists as the Lakers tied the first-round playoff series at 1-1. That particular display adding to an impressive personal record. Doncic has now scored at least 27 points in 14 straight playoff games, the longest current streak in the history of the NBA. And going into the match that was played earlier this morning, the Oklahoma City Thunder recovered from a 29-point deficit to beat the Memphis Grizzlies 114 to 108 points and take a 3-0 series lead in the Western Conference playoffs. Trailing by 26 points at halftime, the top-seeded Thunder completed the second biggest second-half comeback in NBA playoff history to put the Grizzlies on the brink of elimination. The Grizzlies were in full control of the match at the start of the third quarter, up 77 to 51, and of course to strike back in the series, but an injury to Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant late in the second quarter proved the turning point, with the 25-year-old falling hard on his hip while attempting a dunk. The Grizzlies took a 29-point lead in the next play, but then collapsed without the influential American, who is now a doubt for the Game 4, which is going to be on Saturday. After losing Game 2, the New York Knicks also established a 2-1 playoff series lead with a 118 to 116 win against the Detroit Pistons. Yesterday, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and also Michael Bridges all scored more than 20 points, while Josh Hart excelled in defense with 11 rebounds and 9 assists. The Pistons were really a poor second quarter, in which they allowed a 23-6 run-in for the Knicks' favor to fall 13 points behind at halftime. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kate Cunningham led a spirited response, finishing with 24 points each, but it was not enough, with Game 4 of the series also set to be played in Detroit on Sunday. And away from that right now, straight in the world of football this morning, bringing you updates coming through from the ever-exciting, ever-dynamic world of football. Just like I mentioned at the start of the show, Carlo Ancelotti is once again the frontrunner for the Madrid's vacant coaching job. According to sources, the Brazil Football Federation fired coach Dorival Jr. last month and had considered Al Hilal manager Jorge Jesus as a potential replacement. And away from that story right now, it's a big weekend for Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace and Manchester City. We're all getting ready to play in the semi-finals of the FA Cup at Wembley. And guess what, guys? These 4 teams also culminate what we call the remaining part of the top 4 in the English Premier League. And guess what? You only have 1 point between the 3rd and the 5th on the English Premier League table right now. 3 of the 4, which is Forest, Villa and City, are also chasing the top 5 Premier League finishes that will secure a Champions League place come next season. But then the big question is, what matters more right now? Is it winning the FA Cup or qualifying for the Champions League? Because logically, a lot of managers want to rest players, but then there's the Champions League that is on the line. There's the Champions League that is on the break. Or if you're a manager, what do you do? We ask this question later this evening, 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. on the Sports Talk Show. So Saturday, Crystal Palace will be taking on Aston Villa in the first leg of the semi-final that we played. And tomorrow on Sunday, we'll also be having Nottingham Forest, who will be playing against Manchester City at about 4:30 p.m. Nigerian time, also looking for a place in the final of the English FA Cup. Well, a masterpiece of a weekend for us in England, and we look forward to see how it's going to pan out. Don't forget that it's just 1 point away from winning the trophy. That is what Arne Slot is looking forward to do in the English Premier League in the next week. By the way, taking a couple of transfer bits as we have it on the back page of Major Dailies, it's been said that Arsenal are confident they will make Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi their first major signing, despite interest from Real Madrid. Hopefully, this is going to come into fruition for the Gunners. By the way, and like I rightly mentioned, Real Madrid midfielder Eduardo Camavinga will also miss the remainder of the season, including Saturday's Copa del Rey final against Barcelona because of a left abductor injury. Camavinga, who's 22, came on the second half of Wednesday's 1-0 La Liga win at Getafe, but left Madrid with 10 men when he was unable to continue after he got hurt in that game. The France international is now a doubt for the Club World Cup as well, and a statement that was made by the team yesterday is now being said that after the test that was carried out, he's not going to be a part of the game, and rightly, same with David Alaba as well. Sports in a Jiffy it is, and I'll be serving it in a Jiffy. I call it a wrap on the package for today and for this week and also the month of April. Don't forget we're back here at same time next week, 10 a.m. down to the flip side of third on the Sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. I did Jajibo sign out this morning. Stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Go out there, be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. I'll see you when I see you once again. Do for yourself a lovely weekend.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula One, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hub 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iMpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sport Hub for all the updates and analysis.